Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're preparing for the Cambridge KET exam, also known as A2 Key, you're in the right place. Today, we will look at the writing paper and especially part 6, writing an email, and part 7, writing a short story. I will show you what the examiners expect, give you some simple structures, and help you write your own with confidence. Now, let's start with the email. In part 6, you need to write about 25 to 35 words. You will get 3 bullet points and you must include them. It can be a reply to a message from a friend. So here is a simple task. You're given a situation such as your friend Alex is going to a party. Write a message to Alex. Say what time the party starts, what you will wear, if you can meet before the party. Now, before we jump into the sample, let's talk about the tips. It is always important to greet the person. You can say hi, hello. Make sure you answer all 3 bullet points clearly, keep it friendly and simple, and end with a closing line like, see you soon, best wishes. And please do not forget to write your name at the end. So here is the sample answer. Hi Alex, the party starts at 6 p.m. I will wear my new blue dress and black shoes. Let's meet at the cafe near your house at 5:30, okay? What is important over here is that you need to write between 25 and 35 words. Make sure you answer the bullet points, keep it simple but correct, and try not to use complex grammar. Just focus on clarity. So let's see, did we actually answer all the bullet points? What time the party starts? The party starts at 6 p.m. What you will wear? I will wear my new blue dress and black shoes. If you can meet before the party. Let's meet at the cafe near your house at 5:30, okay? Now, very important thing. Do you see the comma next to the name? It is very important, so try not to forget it. Now, here is another example with the same topic, but who doesn't like parties, right? Your friend has invited you to a party. Write an email to your friend. In your email, you should say if you can come, ask about the party, and say what you can bring. And here is the response. Hi Anna, thanks for the invitation. Yes, I can come to your party on Saturday. What time does it start? I can bring some drinks or snacks. Let me know what you need. See you soon, Maria. Say if you can come. Yes, I can come to your party on Saturday. Now, even though we don't have Saturday in the requirement, of course we can add it. Maybe, let's presume, that we already know there will be a party on Saturday. Ask about the party. What time does it start? Say what you can bring. I can bring some drinks or snacks. So, did we answer the bullet points? I think we did. Well done! Now, let's move on to the story. In part 7, you have to write a short story, which is about 35 words or more. You will get some pictures to help you build up a great story. Now, before we go through an example, let's see what is tested. It is tested the ability to describe events in a clear order. First, then, first, second, next, and so on. Make sure you use past simple tense because obviously you are telling a story. And we also want to see if you are able to do a little bit of storytelling with simple vocabulary and grammar. So, how can I make a great story? Very easy. Just follow the tips and you will ace that story. Again, make sure you use past simple tense because you are telling a story. Write full sentences. Try not to use bullet points. Make sure you're using some linking words like then, after that, so, but. Keep it logical and connected. The story must match the pictures. Write 35 to 45 words. Don't go under or over. Now, how do you start a story? Well, first and foremost, give them a name. It could be John, Bob, Lisa. Doesn't matter. Then, To start a beautifully built story, you can start with something like, one day, it was a sunny morning when, last weekend, and so on. Now, on the other side, we also want to know a little bit more about the character. A girl was in the kitchen. A boy was in the living room. She saw something interesting. He felt happy. The girl wanted to. Make sure you don't repeat he did this or he did that. You can call them by their name first and then replace the name with a suitable personal pronoun, he or she. On the left, we have phrases to show time and sequence. These help the reader follow your story easily. For example, then, after that, a few minutes later, and so on. These are great for moving the story forward. On the right, we have phrases to use when something goes wrong or exciting happens. This makes your story more fun and dramatic. For example, suddenly the cake fell. To her surprise, it was a big mistake. Try to use one or two of these in your story to get a higher score. They show that you can write a clear and interesting story in English, and that's what we want. Now, let's look at two more important parts of your story, reactions and feeling, and how to end the story. First, on the left, we have some examples of how people in your story might feel or react. This helps show emotions and makes your writing more interesting. You can say things like, "She was very sorry," "He looked afraid," "Everyone laughed." These short sentences are really useful because they show the reader what the character is thinking or feeling. And then, on the right, we have some good phrases to end your story. It is important to finish your story clearly. Try using something like, "In the end," "Finally," "Everything was okay," and so on. Just one sentence like this can make your story feel complete. Remember, show what the characters feel and end your story in a simple but clear way. Depending on the student's level and confidence, the story can be either too simple or more complex. Let's see two examples. And here is the simple version. One day, a girl saw a big chocolate cake in the kitchen. She wanted to try it, so she took a small piece. Suddenly, the cake fell on the floor. Her mother came in. The girl was very sad. As we can see, we don't have a name of the girl, which I would say try not to forget it. But then again, this is a simple version, right? Now let's see a better example. It was a quiet afternoon when Anna walked into the kitchen and saw a delicious chocolate cake on the table. She carefully tried to cut a piece, but the cake slipped and crashed to the floor. When her mother entered, she was shocked. Anna looked super guilty. So, which one do you like? Let me know, please. But here is another version. It was Lily's birthday, and her mom made a big, delicious chocolate cake. Lily couldn't wait. She touched it, but oops, the cake slid off the plate and crashed on the floor. Just then, Mom walked in. She looked shocked, not because of the mess, but because the cake was a surprise. Now, as you can see, we are still talking about the same thing, slightly more interesting. Again, that depends on the level of the student, because we do have different students at the same level. Some of them are very descriptive. They really enjoy being as detailed as possible. Now, here are some final tips. Remember that you need to keep it simple, follow the instructions, and use full sentences. Try to practice a few examples just before your test. If you'd like me to check your writing or want more practice tasks, leave a comment or visit my website. And my name is Natasha, and I teach Cambridge English to students all over the world. Thanks for watching.